YouTube. So we're here back today on this Sunday. Let me just tell you this. Cooking with your man can get very frustrating. Anyways, today we are making, what are you making?
Fajitas.
So we were looking to make some fajitas in the oven, but he wants to do them in the pan. And we're going to do, and then cook the rest of it in the oven. So what we went to go buy was some lemons, some red bell pepper, some yellow bell pepper, some onions, cilantro, and then the fajita meat here, which fajita is always expensive, guys. And this is not even seasoned, but have the fajitas. And then we also have this here, which is called Sazon Goya. And it's basically a seasoning with cilantro and tomate. You can use this for frijoles, sopas, carnes, pollos, y guisos. And they're actually, I think they're just a powder, because I've never purchased these before.
It's just a packet.
So they're packaged. And you can put them in there when we're putting the fajitas. So he's just cutting this up right now because this is what he's going to use when we put the fajitas in there. And then we have some rice here that he's going to make and some beans that he's going to warm up. So, and also some avocados because I'm going to make some avocados mixed with tomate and lettuce as a little dip because we also have some tortillas here. So these are some good tortillas, guys. Yes, you might be asking, what happened to your low-carb diet? Well, let's just move on from there. Anyways, we have the flour tortillas right here that we purchased these. They're about $2 something. They're homemade. You just need to warm them up, cook them a little bit longer, and they're good to go. So while the baby's cutting this, I'm going to open this so I can show you the packet of what it looks like. All right. So, oh yeah, they are little packets. So these are just little packets with a little seasoning inside. And this one actually came with 8. So this is going to go added to my seasoning collection. So this is actually be my first time trying this as myself. I don't know if I maybe have this in another food that I ate or anything. But it says a little magic and a little foil in little foil packets. There. All right, so the baby's starting to cut the bell peppers, and the way you want to cut them, babe, is like that. Yeah, cut them in half, and then you're just gonna make kind of like long lines. Take one half off. Yeah, now lay it down. Take off the, yeah, no, the other way, Turn it sideways. Yeah, and then cut it longways. Yeah, because then when you, yeah, because then you'll just mix that in with that. No, that is gonna be trash. All that stuff in the middle is gonna be trash. You're just gonna use the bell peppers.
So all this is trash?
Mm-hmm. That and the seeds on the inside is trash. Alright, so right now he's just putting everything here, but once we get the fajitas here, once we get the fajitas in here, he's going to actually just kind of put the fajitas to where they can still cook a little bit in the oven. And he's going to show you here shortly how to season fajita with the help of mine because he's really not a cook, but he's learning. So he's learning how to marinate. He actually wanted to cook outside. Oh, yeah, be careful when you cut stuff like that because
it just squirted on me.
And then, of course, you know, somebody has to make his way in. Right here. Chucky, say hi. Yeah, so you know he's always wanting to be here and see what we're doing. But anyways, so we have the red bell peppers here, and then the yellow red peppers, and then some lemon, so you can use on your fajita. This is the fajita. Let me see, show it again. This was what? 13. What was this? 2 pounds? No, yeah, 2.3, and it was for $13.78 at the store, guys. Fajita meat will be very expensive. And especially if it's marinated, it's a lot more. But when you want fajitas, you'll buy it.
Should I cut anything or just it's fine like that? Cut it in half or?
Yeah, well, you're gonna cut them. You're gonna get them like that, right? You're gonna cut them kind of like the same way you cut the bell peppers.
No, so you don't want me to cut this in half? Like that?
No, just make them thick. Alright guys, so he's actually just cutting the fajitas. He's actually going to cut them the same way that he cut the bell peppers because they're going to be made into little tacos. So that would be the best way to go ahead and cut them. Sorry, guys.
So what about that thing? It's gonna be showing like that.
No, you can't see it. The camera's right here.
Oh.
Alright guys, so we already have a pan here of vegetables, and then he also has the fajita meats cut in here. We're gonna season. Are you gonna season the season? Are you gonna season the fajitas now, and then put this package in there when it's cooking? Okay. So the seasoning we can use, of course, is gonna be salt and pepper, comino, garlic powder. And I also have seasoned salt. And that's it. Alright guys, so we're getting the seasoning together, and these seasonings here, I do buy them at Sam's. They're about $4, I think. Just depends. Pepper is always expensive. So I have the seasoning here, cumin. I like to say comino. Isn't it the same? And sea salt, black pepper, and then garlic powder, seasoned salt. You can just put a little bit of this, and then we're also gonna add the other packet here, but this is gonna be once he has it in the pan. So we're actually gonna put all of this into here. We're gonna mix it together. I'm gonna get the pan ready and put some olive oil. No meats, because it's gonna make its own meat. No oil. So let us go ahead and get this together, and then we'll move over to the stove.
A little bit of comino. How much?
You just put whatever you feel. We just eyeball seasoning here. We don't measure unless it's really gonna make a big difference. Like I had to measure the hamburger helper because it can come out too watery, too milky, or too hard. But other than that, we always eyeball, right guys? We eyeball seasoning depending on how you want it. Why? Because that's what Rachel Ray says, so we do what Rachel Ray says. And I knew you would put a lot of salt because you love the crap out of salt.
It's not a lot of salt.
So he's put the salt, the comino, the pepper, now he's putting the garlic powder, and then he's gonna put just a little bit of the seasoned salt, or however much he wants to put in there. And then he has this here, which he's gonna mix it together. Or whisk, how do you say it? Whisk? And when they say whisk your eggs or whatever.
Let's try some of this. Let's try some of these guys, see what happens.
That seasoning I actually bought at Sam's too. Only because I think I was shopping one day and somebody was cooking a burger with it and it tasted really good, so we used that. No, that's the other stuff. Alright, so we're just gonna mix this together. Just in a little bowl. Then you can put it onto the fajita meat. You can dip it, or you can just mix it together like that. Put it on top and then just mix it. Yeah.
You think that's too much?
So remember, you're fixing to mix it all in. So the only difference when you buy fajitas that you pay marinated or don't is that you have to marinate it at home if you get the ones that are not marinated.
And that's the fun part, marinating them.
Or if you buy them at the store and buy them marinated, but it all depends because usually when they marinate, they kind of rip you off with the fajitas. They give you nothing but fat. So at least when you buy the ones that's not marinated, you can clearly see if they're just giving you a lot of fat or a lot of fajita meat. And this one, they actually did give us a lot of fajita meat. I know sometimes we bought some fajitas and bought a lot of pounds marinated and it just wasn't worth it. I mean, we still ate it.
Of course.
So all he's doing is mixing this together, and it looks like the portion that he had in this bowl was perfect. He's just marinated. We have the pan back there already preheating. Once he's almost done with this in the pan, we're going to preheat the oven for 400. And we're going to mix the fajita meat with the bell peppers for about 25 to 30 minutes, just depending. Well, maybe less because the fajita meat's already going to be cooked. So it just needs to blend in with the vegetables.
Okay.
Alright guys, so he's just putting the fajita meat in the pan that we have here. You gonna put it all, or you gonna put half and half?
Oh. I mean, we're not gonna get it cooked. We're just trying to pre-cook it a little bit. Or throw it in the oven. It doesn't have to cook so long. Do you have a cover?
Yeah, it's under here. Alright guys, so we got the fajita meat going right now. Just gonna let this sit for maybe about 6 to 7 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna put the timer on for 7 minutes. We're gonna come back and check it. Then we're gonna go ahead and add the packet seasoning to this, so that way we can go ahead and get this here. Have you turned them, all of them?
So we're doing earlier.
Alright, so just keep it there until we're going to preheat the oven to 400. We're going to go ahead and get that going. Nothing's in the oven. You always got to make sure. So now we're just going to come over here and get the, what, this?
Yeah, and be careful because I turned on the whatchamacallit.
Alright guys, he's going to go ahead and transfer over these fajitas. They're not fully cooked, even though they do kind of look it. But we're going to just put them in here and then just mix it with the tongs a little bit, babe. So you can get the seasoning on top. Yeah. You know what? It looks like you might have to use... No, I think it'll be good.
What?
So you might have to use another pan thing, but no, I think it's good. So guys, you can make this however you want. If you have a different way of making it, you can definitely do this. This is our first time actually doing it this way, and it's more convenient and less mess to clean up. But you can cut your fajitas however, if you want to cut them this way, if you want to cut them into little squares. It's just all how you want to cut these. So we're just gonna use this. He decided not to go ahead and use the seasoning here, but because he says that the seasoning on the fajitas he thinks is good enough. So while he's doing that, again guys, these are the seasonings that we used here for this meal, or for this. And then also, what else did you use? All right, so this is actually the seasonings that he used here. Again, these are seasonings that I buy at Sam's. I bought these two right here at Kroger's and Walmart, but all the other ones at Sam's, and he's just using them for this meal. So this looks delicious, guys. Delicious, delicious. You can definitely put more bell peppers in here. We're not too crazy about the bell peppers, but we do put it because it's part of the fajita mix. We don't want to do it like they do it at the restaurants, right?
No.
Where they throw nothing but freaking fajitas, and then you have like only 3 to 4 pieces. I'm sorry, nothing but bell peppers, and you only have like 3 to 4 pieces of fajitas. All right. So now that the pan is, the oven is preheated at 400, we're going to go ahead and set this in here.
Bottom one?
Yeah. We didn't put any olive oil because we used the juice from the fajita. So now we're just going to leave this in here, and let's check back in about, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
20-25 minutes. Alright guys, so now he's going to make some rice. So how I make it is I would use the red oil thing. Pour some in there. Just drizzle it. Yep. Alright, now get you your rice.
Enough?
And then you just however much rice you're going to use. And while you put the rice, your stove can be about 6 or 7. Because then later on you're going to turn it down once it's time to simmer.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's good. Alright, so once you put your rice in there, now you're going to go ahead and turn up the stove just a little bit because you want for the bottom of the rice to brown up a little bit. and you can use a spatula or any kind of spoon just to mix the rice together. This is where the oil comes and takes place to give it a little cook on the bottom. Okay. Now just go ahead and leave it like that. Now get you a cup, and in the cup get you a big cup and fill it almost all the way to the top.
What about seasoning?
And you're gonna put hot water. Yeah, I'm gonna show you right now. Alright, so while the rice is getting brown, this is when you're gonna get your seasoning together. You're gonna get the red one that's on the way in the back, all the way towards the refrigerator, which is the red Nor. You can buy the big one. Again, this is one that I bought at Sam's. And you're gonna get you a spoon, and you're gonna put two tablespoons in the red cup of water. You put it at the top right. Yeah, you gotta be careful, baby, because then you'll burn the. So you're gonna put the nor in the cup of water, and you can go by how many tablespoons you want to put. Usually, I like to start off with 2 because you don't want to make it too much seasoning when you bite into your rice. So you'll always keep that in handy because you might need it later on. So now you're just gonna mix that into the water of the red cup. And at the same time, you're checking on your rice to make sure that it's not burning. Okay. So it's starting to cook. You can see that the oil is already mixing in with the rice. So just make sure you mix your seasoning good. You can put it right here, man. Just make sure you mix your seasoning good. So that way when you pour it in there, it's not stuck on all the seasoning is not stuck on the bottom. Now guys, I know that some people make rice and they put tomatoes in there, they put cebolla in there. I like it when other people make it, but I don't make it that way. I just use the North seasoning because it already puts a lot of flavor into your rice. But you can definitely add whatever you want to add to your rice. Remember, this is how you want to cook your own meal and what you want to add to that. So you're just gonna keep an eye out on your rice to make sure that it's cooking on the bottom. Once you see that the majority of the rice is already cooked on the bottom or getting brown on the bottom, you're going to turn the level of the temperature on the stove down. And if you're not, and this is your first time, I would suggest to put the pan to the back or to the other end, because if not, the water and the rice oil is going to pop on you. If not, you can go ahead and just turn it down and just pour in the water, mix it in there, and then after that, it's a very easy step. So right now, we're just waiting for it to brown up. Alright guys, so now the rice has a little brown to it. So remember, when you're putting the water, you need to turn down the rice because you don't want it to pop on you. Be careful with your hand because you don't want the heat to burn your hand either. Alright, so what I usually like to do is fill up that cup again halfway because it makes it easier for you to not to keep coming back to add more and more water. So right now when you add the water in there, go ahead and just add it, and then just get your spoon and mix it about 2 times just to get all the flavor. Remember, later on when you taste it, you're going to need to see if it needs more flavor or not. Now this is when you would put any of your other tomatoes, onions, whatever you want to put on there. Now that you have it here, you're going to just turn down the heat. You can put it on about 4 or 5. Put the lid on there. If you have a lid, I wouldn't suggest to cover it all the way. Just cover it just a little where the steam could come out because you don't want it to overflow your pan. And if you're using foil paper, you can actually use foil paper to cover it as well, but just leave a little opening on there so that it can come out. Now on the rice, you do have to time your rice, guys, because your rice can dry up very fast on you. So I always like to put 20 minutes. So just let it sit for 20 minutes. Within that 20 minutes, come in to check on it. When you come to check on your rice, I'll show you how to check on it so that you don't make your rice soggy. So we're gonna have this going here, and then in the meantime, you can go ahead and continue on with whatever you're making. For example, the babe is wanting to put beans. This would be a perfect time for him to get his beans warmed up in another pot. So that way, once the rice is done, that's it, you're done, and then we just take out the fajitas from the oven. All right, guys, so he got the beans here. These are actually some bush pinto beans. You can smush this if you want. You can just warm them up. It's very simple. Put them in a pot, just warm them up. Keep them maybe on 2 or 3 because you're still cooking the rest of your meal. Now, if this was the only thing missing, then you could definitely cook it on 4 or 5, however, to get it cooked fast. But because you still have other things cooking, you just want to just get it warmed together, warmed up, and then get it simmered until everything's ready so that everything can be hot and fresh. So he's just letting that simmer. We're still waiting on the rice. On the rice, we have 17 minutes. He'll come back to check it in between, and then we also have the fajita meat cooking. So, you want to check it? Yeah. So you have the fajita meat here, looking good.
Smelling good. So leave that for a little long.
Alright, so this is how you're going to check it. Like, put the spoon in the middle, and then just move it to the side. Yeah, that's how you'll check it.
What are we checking for?
You're just checking to see, like, make sure it's not all the way dried yet. So, for example, when you check it in a minute and if there's less water, you'll just do the same thing in the middle so you can bring all the water from the side to the middle. So it's not all the way cooked yet. Alright, guys, so this was a little dried up, so he's having to put more water.
More? There?
No, that's fine. And then he's just going to turn it down just a little bit. Turn down to about 3 to let it simmer. Yeah. Alright, guys, so this is Jose's rice. I might be scared to taste it because I think it's going to come out just like mine. But we'll see. The beans are ready to go. He's warming up some tortillas. And we actually have some fajitas here. And then this boy here, my son, is going to pour the drinks. We have the fajitas, so we'll try it here in a little bit and see. And of course, this dog, Chuck. Hi, Chucky. Here it is. We have your rice, your beans, Big Red. I also made this, the only thing, guys, that I made, seriously, out of this whole meal for the very first time. I just made some side pico de gallo. But other than that, the babe made all of this. Oh my God, look at this. Wow. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? No? Can you believe you made it, babe?
Yep. Professional.
So once I have my piece on here, I'm going to try it. Because you know I got to do a test. Especially on this rice. Because...
There's tortillas right there.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's some tortillas right there too. So right now when the babe has his plate, I'm going to have him record me. Or I'm going to have my son record me so I can taste it. Because I'm really scared, guys, about this rice. You don't like it? So here I go. I'm scared because this rice, I'm really scared. It looks just perfect. Let me see. I won't be mad if he can beat me.
Yeah.
Guys, the rice is good, babe. It tastes just like my rice. But I showed him, so that's a good thing, right? But let me taste his fajitas. So this is how they came out. Alright. Wow, babe.
Look, right?
Guys, I'm not lying. The rice, it tastes just like my rice. It's pretty good because now he can start making rice. But, guys, it's so good.
Make you want to slap your mama.
See this? Fajita, beans, rice, Big Red, tortillas. Look at how he's hooking it up. This is how you make a taco, guys. Put the fajita, the tortillas, whatever, guacamole or whatever. You got the lemon.
Squeeze that lemon on there.
Squeeze everything on there. Got it?
And that's how you make a taco.
And then whatever salsa you want on there, if you want some more salsa on that. But guys, this is badass. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the like button, share this video, and good job, babe. Good job. You did pretty good.